don't know if you heard that song, but it's pretty intense. Pretty intense, like Indians. Intense. Good morning. I look like an elf. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So was warming up. Now it's cold. Quick video about cycles. Okay, I'm not female, so not those kind of cycles, but my mental cycles. I go up and down, and I'm sure a lot of people do. When you suffer from a burnout, in which a burnout, it could be a lot of things if you're in the functional world, or if you're hearing from your naturopath. When I say burnout, typically you could associate that with adrenal fatigue, or sometimes chronic fatigue syndrome, which in my case and 99.9% of cases is not true. So, for lack of a better word, and actually burnout, I'm ahead of the game. I've been talking about burnout and reading about burnout for years, and it's just now officially actually a real thing. Like before depression was real. So look how smart I am. You should subscribe because I know my stuff. And I'm just joking, by the way, if people don't think that I'm humble out there. I'm very humble. I don't think humble people say they're humble. Okay, bookmarking that. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, burnout. That's as close as I got to it. And I found a girl on YouTube who was amazing, and she had a similar story. And I was like, wow. And really, it's as simple as, and yes, the adrenals are involved. Because cortisol is involved, but a burnout will happen from long-term exposure to stress, and oftentimes it can be very paralleled with chronic or complex PTSD, because PTSD manifests in people that can't control a situation. So that, and I have both. So also burnout is now finally recognized, like I was saying, but really only for people that are working. Like, you read about it, if you Google it, it's like nurses and people that that work too much and they're stressed and they're burnout. Well, if it can happen to people that are just working a lot, why can't you extrapolate that, or take that same thing and put it into people that are suffering from chronic stress? It's the same thing, if not worse. Some people deal with work fine, workload's fine, but chronic stress is the same thing. Anyway, when chronic stress builds up enough in you, in me, and you don't have an outlet to relieve that stress, you're gonna explode. And there are stages. Adrenal fatigue has stages, but adrenal fatigue itself as a term is just kind of misleading. And I wouldn't say it's not a disease, right? It's just a breakdown in yourself, from yourself. Recovery is hard because it's like my urinary condition. It was very hard to treat. It's very hard to heal, like a bladder. How do you heal a bladder? Because you have to use it. It's like, how do you heal a mind that you have to use? So you have to learn ways. It's called paradoxical relaxation. There's different words for it, but essentially, letting go, surrender, accepting the symptoms is the only way to stop the cascading, perpetuating situation that you're going to be finding yourself in, like me. because you can't stop using your mind. But if you're constantly thinking about, like me, constantly thinking about my symptoms when they worsen, or what did I do? Did I eat the wrong thing? Blah, blah, blah. And it's always now really coming down to, and I do support healthy diet, but stress, mental batteries. How much, if your brain was a battery, think about all the things, you could write this down even, like what is charging you, what is draining you. Okay, so if you have too many drainages, not enough charges, I'm not a mathematician, but you're probably gonna get drained. And when you have that deficit, and you have that for too long, your body, for people like me, I'm a type A, so you have different mental fuel sources, if you will. And one of the fuel sources that is most people like to use, including myself, is the fuel source of stress. Okay, stress is a wonderful fuel source. It's like rocket fuel. It'll boost you to the moon. No, just kidding. No, but it does. Like, you find yourself like me, like in a stressful situation. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm getting through it, and I'm just going through the motions. And I'm like, wow. But then I fall apart because the body, and yes, the adrenals. Just because I'm mentioning adrenals doesn't mean I'm talking about adrenal fatigue. But yeah, your adrenals, the cortisol, it's all pumping, right? Because it's surviving, and it's pushing that out. That norepinephrine, those catecholamines, all that stuff, it's pushing it out. So it's going to create, in a way, a false sense of feeling better. And I've got addicted to that. So, like, if there's a stressor, as much as I'm not happy, I find myself less deflated, and more able to rise to the situation because you're forced to. Okay, you're forced to. And a lot of people, and when you talk about kids or something like that, and you're forced to think outside yourself, and that could be a really great thing. It could be a great thing for a lot of people. It might not be so much for some people. I'm not going to risk it right now to find out. But yes, you're forced, but that's not how we want to be, right? We don't want to be forced. We don't want to have stress to be our fuel source, to force us to feel something. And that's just how it's been my whole life. I stress about anything. Vacations are the most stressful thing in the world. I don't know how to relax. I don't know how to shut it off. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to slow down. So the answer is in me and in myself. And I'm just saying that the burnout, sometimes I'll feel better, and I'll say, oh man, my battery's charged, right? Okay, I'm back. I got because I have, I'm very humble, but I'm just extremely smart and intelligent and just amazing at almost everything I do. I'm kidding. That was kind of a joke. I have a friend that made a comment that wasn't humble. Made me feel very bad about myself. I'm just working on my confidence. And then when I said that stuff about me being amazing, I don't actually believe that. Okay. But we should work on that, our confidence and stuff. Anyway, our life shouldn't just be about survival. That's the problem. We're always thinking, and we're always trying to survive. How do you stop the circle? Well, accept it. Accept your symptoms. Accept you're tired. Accept you have to lay down. You have to accept and surrender to those emotions and those feelings. So I think that I have my brain back, and I'm like, I could do stuff again, and I can, and it's come back online where you don't even know how bad it was. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I could do a meeting, or I could do a call, or I could do this, and I'm using a lot of mental energy. Well, I quickly, all of a sudden, I wake up, I'm like, I feel okay right now. I feel okay. I'm gonna take advantage of this. I'm gonna call my mom. I'm gonna call my sister. I'm gonna call my friend. I'm gonna do this, toward that. I'm going to try to get back into work. I'm going to try to, so immediately I jump back into, I'm better. And stupid me, never ever realizing it, that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. I do that on a daily basis, so I guess I'm insane. But, yeah, you have to know when to push, know when not to push, and not beat yourself up if you can't do the things that other people can do. And that's something I do. So I'm the pot calling the kettle black, but I'm just delivering a message of things that I've learned that I know that will work. So you might have better success at following my advice than I do. But with the burnout, the symptoms will come back, and then I'll get completely deflated, empty, sad. A depression comes in, and I feel like I'll never get better, and I become very upset. I beat myself up, and that's just beating a dead horse. So I have these cycles in the burnout, and they come from trying to use too much of my reservoir, in which not knowing my limitations in my brain work or my mental capacities, and trying to condition myself away from those habitual things. So for what it's worth, for all you guys suffering from burnout, or you can have experiences of derealization, and you can have experiences of just feeling foggy. You could, oftentimes, obviously, and flu-like symptoms can cause a lot of stuff. And you just have to give yourself a break, give yourself relax. Just know that it's part of your body. It's just tired. It's just burned out from all the stress, all the overthinking, the overwork, or what may have you. So I would encourage you to listen to your body, find a peaceful place to rest and meditate, and try to manifest the power that is in you, because you can recharge those batteries. We just have to find a way to recharge them and not drain them faster than they're charging. And a lot of times that could be something in your life, like a poor relationship, or a bad job, or just a lot of things drain us. And some people, but you have to counterbalance that with things that charge you as well, like meditation, breathing, relaxing. And where you have someone like me who doesn't relax, doesn't know how to relax, you just don't get the charging. There's no charging port. There's just usage. Just using it, and not getting the charge. And sometimes I feel like a fully charged, like an old battery, and then you turn the toy on, and then it walks, and it just falls down, that kind of thing. Anyway, there's hope. I've seen the other side, and I have these cycles, and some days I'm like, man, I feel really great, but I need to learn to not overdo it during those days. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. God bless. Have a wonderful day.